The obsidian chamber hummed with suppressed energy, the air thick with the weight of 1,000 gazes. Hierarch Velath stood at the apex of the tiered council, his chitinous carapace gleaming under the pale luminescence that filtered through the crystalline skylights. The silence was absolute, broken only by the faint susurrus of the life support systems that maintained the atmospheric equilibrium within the citadel. It was a silence born of dread, a silence punctuated by the unspoken question that hung heavy in the minds of every member of the Galactic Concordance Council. What to do about humanity? For cycles, the Concordance had observed them, these beings from the periphery. Their rapid technological advancement had been initially dismissed as a fluke, a statistical anomaly in the vast tapestry of galactic civilizations. But their relentless drive, their insatiable curiosity, and their unpredictable nature had begun to sow seeds of unease among the elder races. Whispers of aggression, of expansionism, of a disturbing disregard for established protocols and ancient traditions had echoed through the corridors of power. And now, the discovery, a discovery that had thrown the entire concordance into disarray. Velath cleared his throat, the sound amplified by the chamber's acoustics. "We have all reviewed the preliminary analysis of the Xantus expedition's findings," he stated, his voice resonating with solemn authority. "The implications are significant." He paused, allowing his words to sink in. "The star map recovered from the ruins of Cygnus VII predates the known history of galactic civilization. It is unsettlingly comprehensive." From the lower tiers, Elder Lyra, matriarch of the Sylphan Collective, spoke, her voice a melodic chime. "Unsettling. Velath, let us not mince words. It is terrifying. A star map of that age detailing the locations of worlds long since consumed by cosmic entropy is one thing, but to find it marked with warnings, and to see that the only destroyed world identified with certainty is located within the Sol system, homeworld of humanity." A wave of murmurs rippled through the chamber. The Sylphans were renowned for their prescience, their ability to perceive subtle energies and impending cosmic events. Their fear was not to be taken lightly. "The Xantus expedition also recovered fragments of what appear to be defense systems," added Counselor Gorn, his reptilian eyes narrowed in contemplation. "Sophisticated technology far beyond anything we currently possess, technology that seems designed to protect against an external threat, a threat that apparently succeeded at least on Cygnus VII. And what of the humans themselves?" Questioned Ambassador Phelan, representative of the ethereal Luminians. "Have they any knowledge of this map, of the fate that befell Cygnus VII? Velath sighed, a low rumble that vibrated through his carapace. "That is the crux of the matter, Phelan. Initial contact has been inconclusive. They acknowledge the existence of ancient ruins on their world, but their records are fragmented, incomplete. They claim to have no knowledge of a star map of this scale, nor of any cataclysm that destroyed a civilization within their system." "Claim?" Gorn hissed. "Or are they concealing the truth?" "We cannot be certain," Velath conceded. "That is why we must proceed with caution. Humanity is an enigma. Their rapid technological advancement, their fierce independence, their adaptability, it is all unprecedented. They are a wild card in the galactic equation." Lyra's voice chimed again. "And a potentially dangerous one. The map suggests that humanity may be standing on the precipice of a forgotten conflict, a conflict that could engulf the entire galaxy. We cannot allow that to happen." The debate raged on for cycles. Some advocated for a preemptive strike, a swift and decisive action to neutralize any potential threat emanating from humanity. Others argued for a more cautious approach, advocating for continued observation and diplomatic engagement. Still others, primarily the pacifist Luminians, urged restraint, warning against the dangers of unwarranted aggression. Velath listened patiently, weighing the arguments, sensing the growing unease that permeated the chamber. He knew that the future of the Concordance, perhaps even the future of the galaxy, hung in the balance. He also knew that a decision, however difficult, had to be made. Deep within the Sol system, on the third planet from a relatively unremarkable star, Dr. Aris Thorne stared at the holographic projection, his brow furrowed in concentration. The image depicted a complex network of interconnected nodes, a star map unlike anything he had ever seen. It was recovered from the ancient ruins beneath the Antarctic ice, a place humanity had dubbed the Vault. The dating placed it as being incomprehensibly ancient, far older than any known human civilization. "The translation matrix is still incomplete," reported Dr. Lena Hansen, her voice echoing through the cavernous research facility. "But we've managed to decipher some of the key elements. The nodes represent star systems, and the connections, well, we believe they represent trade routes, migration patterns, or possibly military campaigns." And the red markings? Eris asked, pointing to several systems highlighted in crimson. Lena hesitated. We're not entirely sure, but based on the surrounding context, we believe they indicate danger or perhaps destruction. Eris felt a chill run down his spine. He had dedicated his life to unraveling the mysteries of the vault, but this was something different, something far more significant than he could have ever imagined. There's one more thing, Lena added, her voice barely above a whisper. One of the red-marked systems, it's located in the vicinity of Cygnus VII, and another, it's right here, in the Sol system, Earth. The silence in the chamber was broken only by the hum of the holographic projector. Eris stared at the image, his mind reeling. Could it be possible? Could Earth be a target? Could humanity be standing on the brink of annihilation, unaware of the ancient forces gathering in the shadows? He knew that he had to find out. He knew that he had to warn the world. But he also knew that time was running out. Back in the Concordant Citadel, the debate had reached a fever pitch. Gorn, his patience exhausted, slammed his fist on the council table. We cannot afford to wait any longer. Humanity poses a clear and present danger. We must act now before it is too late. Gorn, I urge you to reconsider, Lyra pleaded, her voice laced with concern. A preemptive strike would be a grave mistake. We do not fully understand the situation. We do not know what humanity is capable of. We know enough, Gorn retorted. We know that they possess technology that surpasses our own. We know that they are expanding rapidly, and we know that their homeworld is marked for destruction on an ancient star map. What more evidence do you need? Before Lyra could respond, the chamber was plunged into darkness. An alarm blared, a deafening cacophony that echoed through the citadel. Red lights flashed, illuminating the faces of the council members, their expressions a mixture of fear and confusion. What is happening? Velath demanded, his voice barely audible above the din. We are under attack, a voice shouted from the communications console. Unknown vessels have entered the system. They are unlike anything we have ever seen. Panic erupted in the chamber. Council members scrambled for their designated emergency stations, their carefully constructed facade of order and authority crumbling in the face of imminent danger. Velath stood firm, his gaze fixed on the main view screen which flickered to life, revealing a fleet of ships emerging from warp space. The vessels were sleek and black, their hulls shimmering with an ethereal glow. They moved with an unnerving grace, their weapons systems seemingly offline. Identify yourselves. Velath commanded, his voice amplified across the void. State your intentions. A moment of silence, then a voice calm and measured echoed through the citadel. This is Captain Eva Rostova of the human exploration vessel Odyssey. We have detected a distress signal emanating from this system. We are here to offer assistance. The silence that followed was deafening. Assistance. After all the fear, all the debate, all the preparations for war, humanity had come to offer assistance. Velath stared at the screen, his mind struggling to comprehend the situation. Had they misjudged humanity? Had they allowed their fear to cloud their judgment? What distress signal are you referring to? He asked, his voice trembling slightly. We have detected a faint energy signature originating from a planet in the outer reaches of your system, Rostova replied. It appears to be a distress beacon activated thousands of years ago. We believe it may be of alien origin. A collective gasp swept through the citadel. An alien distress beacon, hidden in their own system for millennia, could it be connected to the star map? We request permission to investigate, Rostova continued. We believe we may be able to help. Velath hesitated. Could he trust humanity? Could he risk allowing them to approach the distress beacon? He looked around the chamber at the faces of his fellow council members, their expressions a mixture of hope and apprehension. He knew that he had to make a decision, and he knew that the fate of the Concordance, perhaps even the fate of the galaxy, rested on his shoulders. Granted, he said, his voice echoing through the citadel. You have permission to investigate, but be warned, Captain Rostova, we will be watching you closely. The Odyssey, accompanied by a small contingent of Concordance vessels, approached the designated planet. It was a desolate world, scarred by ancient meteor impacts and devoid of any signs of life. The distress beacon emanated from a deep crater, a gaping wound in the planet's surface. A team of human and alien scientists, led by Eris and Lena, descended to the surface in a heavily shielded transport. As they approached the crater, they could feel the energy signature growing stronger, a palpable wave of power that resonated deep within their bones. This is it, Eris said, his voice barely audible above the whine of the transport's engines. This is where it all began. They reached the bottom of the crater and stepped out of the transport, their faces illuminated by the eerie glow emanating from the beacon. It was a towering structure, constructed from an unknown metal, its surface covered in intricate carvings and symbols. What is it? Lena whispered, her eyes wide with awe. I don't know, Eris replied. But I have a feeling we're about to find out. As they approached the beacon, the carvings began to glow brighter, and a beam of light shot into the sky, piercing the atmosphere and disappearing into the vastness of space. "It's transmitting a signal," Lena exclaimed. "A powerful signal directed towards the galactic core." Aris felt a sense of dread wash over him. The galactic core, what could be out there? What ancient forces had been awakened by this beacon? Suddenly, the beacon began to tremble, and the ground beneath their feet began to shake. Cracks appeared in the crater walls, and molten rock began to flow from the depths of the planet. "We have to get out of here," Aris shouted. "Now!" The team scrambled back into the transport, and they ascended from the crater just as the beacon erupted in a blinding flash of light. Back on the Odyssey, Captain Rostova watched the events unfold on the main view screen. Her face was grim, her eyes filled with concern. "What was that?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "I don't know, Captain," replied the science officer, "but I have a feeling we're not going to like what happens next." As the light from the beacon faded, a ripple of energy spread across the galaxy, reaching out to the farthest corners of known space. And in the darkness between the stars, something stirred, something ancient, something powerful, something hungry. In the heart of the galactic concordant citadel, Velath felt a tremor in his soul. He knew with chilling certainty that the galaxy had just taken its first step towards a darkness that had been slumbering for eons. And he knew that humanity, the wild card in the galactic equation, would play a crucial role in the events to come. The transmission sent by the beacon reached its destination, a derelict megastructure drifting in the void near the galactic core. It was a vessel of immense size and unimaginable age, its purpose long forgotten. Until now. The signal reactivated its dormant systems, awakening the ancient consciousness that lay within. The vessel shuddered, its engines roared to life, and it began to move, drawn towards the Sol system, towards Earth. The megastructure was not alone. As it stirred, other vessels, scattered across the galaxy, began to awaken as well. An armada of ancient warships, their weapons systems primed and ready, began to converge on a single point: Earth. The dangerous galaxy's oldest star map had one destroyed world, but it also held the key to humanity's survival, a key that lay hidden within the hearts and minds of the very beings who had been so feared and underestimated. The galaxy was about to discover the true meaning of human resilience, of human ingenuity, and of the unwavering human spirit. Aris Thorne, now aboard the Odyssey, watched as the readings came in. The impossible readings. "Captain," he said, his voice strained, "we're detecting a massive energy signature. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. It's coming from the galactic core." Rostova turned, her expression hardening. "Size? Impossible to say, Captain, but it's vast. It's as if an entire star system is on the move." On the bridge, the atmosphere tightened. "Alert all ships," Rostova commanded. "Prepare for immediate departure. We need to get back to Earth. Now." The Odyssey jumped into warp, followed by the remaining concordance vessels. But they knew in their hearts that they were already too late. The megastructure emerged from warp near Pluto, its size dwarfing the planets of the Sol system. It was a weapon of unimaginable power, a relic of a war fought before the dawn of time, and it was aimed directly at Earth. The humans were ready. Defenses activated, fleets assembled, every resource marshaled. But they also knew in their hearts it was almost certainly not enough. They were facing something that had broken civilizations before. The first strike was devastating. Entire cities were vaporized in an instant. The skies burned, but humanity did not yield. They fought back with everything they had, their courage fueled by a desperate hope. The Concordance vessels arrived, joining the battle, their weapons' fire adding to the chaos. But even their combined firepower was no match for the ancient megastructure. As the battle raged, Aris Thorne worked feverishly in the Odyssey's research lab, trying to decipher the secrets of the ancient star map. He knew that there had to be a way to stop the megastructure, a weakness, a vulnerability. He just had to find it. Suddenly, he saw it. A small, almost insignificant marking on the map, located near the galactic core. It was a symbol he had overlooked before, a symbol that represented a fail-safe. "I've found it," he shouted. "I know how to stop it." He raced to the bridge, his heart pounding in his chest. "Captain, I know how to disable the megastructure, but it's going to be risky." Rostova turned to him, her eyes filled with a mixture of hope and determination. "Tell me." Aris explained his plan. It involved a daring maneuver, a desperate gamble that could either save humanity or doom it forever. Rostova listened intently, her mind racing. It was a long shot, but it was the only chance they had. "Do it," she said. "Prepare the Odyssey for a jump to the galactic core, and may God have mercy on our souls." The Odyssey, escorted by a small squadron of fighters, broke away from the main battle and jumped into warp, heading straight for the heart of the galaxy. As they approached the galactic core, they could feel the immense power emanating from the megastructure, a force that threatened to tear their ship apart. They reached the designated coordinates and deployed a small probe, equipped with a powerful energy weapon. The probe raced towards the megastructure, its target, a small, almost invisible port located on its hull. The probe fired its weapon, unleashing a concentrated blast of energy that pierced the hull of the megastructure and disabled its central control systems. The megastructure shuddered, its weapon systems went offline, and it began to drift aimlessly in space. The battle was over. Humanity had survived, but the victory was bittersweet. The Earth was ravaged, its cities in ruins. Millions were dead, and the galaxy was now aware of the ancient threat that lurked in the shadows. In the aftermath of the battle, as the survivors began to rebuild their lives, Eris Thorn stood on the ruins of what was once a great city, gazing up at the stars. He knew that the war was far from over. The megastructure was disabled, but the ancient forces that had created it were still out there, waiting for their chance to strike again. He also knew that humanity was not alone. The Concordants, humbled by their near defeat, had pledged their support, and together, humans and aliens, they would face the darkness that threatened to engulf the galaxy. But the greatest twist was yet to come. In the depths of the megastructure, as engineers began to dissect its systems, they discovered something unexpected. A message. An ancient message, written in a language that predated all known civilizations. The message was a warning. A warning about a cosmic entity, a being of pure energy that existed beyond the boundaries of the known universe. A being that fed on the life force of galaxies. The megastructures were not weapons. They were guardians, built to protect the galaxy from this cosmic predator. And by disabling them, humanity had unwittingly unleashed a far greater threat than they could have ever imagined. The galaxy held its breath. The ancient enemy was coming. And humanity, along with its newfound allies, would have to find a way to stop it. The dangerous galaxy's oldest star map had revealed its final, devastating secret. The future of the galaxy, and perhaps the universe, rested on their shoulders. The battle had only just begun. The destiny of humanity had just taken an unexpected turn. The ancient message didn't just contain a warning, it contained a key. A key to unlocking a network of dormant defense systems spread across the galaxy, systems far more advanced than anything the Concordants or humanity possessed. The systems were designed to create a shield, a protective barrier against the cosmic entity. But they required a unique energy source to activate, an energy source that was only found on one planet, Cygnus VII, the destroyed world marked on the star map. A joint human concordance expedition was launched to Cygnus VII. They discovered the ruins of a magnificent civilization, a civilization that had been far more advanced than anything they had ever imagined. They also found the energy source, a crystalline structure that pulsed with incredible power. But the structure was damaged, corrupted by the cataclysm that had destroyed Cygnus VII. It would take time and ingenuity to repair it, time that they didn't have. Eris Thorn had an idea. He proposed using human DNA, the very building blocks of life, to purify the crystalline structure. He believed that the human spirit, the resilience, the adaptability, the unwavering determination that had allowed humanity to survive against all odds could be encoded into the DNA and used to heal the damaged crystal. It was a long shot, a desperate gamble, but it was the only chance they had. The process was long and arduous, fraught with peril, but in the end they succeeded. The crystalline structure was purified, its energy restored. The humans and the Concordance races worked together, sharing their knowledge, their technology, and their hopes. They activated the ancient defense systems, creating a shield that enveloped the galaxy, protecting it from the cosmic entity. The entity arrived, a being of unimaginable power, its presence distorting space and time. But it was repelled by the shield, unable to penetrate the barrier that now protected the galaxy. The entity retreated, defeated for now, but it would return. And when it did, humanity and its allies would be ready. The galaxy was safe, but it was also forever changed. The ancient star map had revealed its secrets, exposing the true nature of the universe and the dangers that lurked in the shadows. Humanity had proven its worth, earning the respect and admiration of the elder races. They were no longer seen as a wild card, but as a vital part of the galactic community, a beacon of hope in a dangerous galaxy. And as Eris Thorn looked up at the stars, he knew that the future was uncertain. But he also knew that humanity was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. They had learned the lessons of the past, and they were prepared to fight for the future. The dangerous galaxy had found its protector in the most unexpected of places, the heart of humanity. The destroyed world served as a painful reminder, but also as a powerful testament to the enduring strength of hope. The message was clear. Even in the darkest of galaxies, humanity would shine.